Elon Musk sparked a MAGA civil war over the holidays, and it has me laughing my ass off. We have no time to waste. Let's jump in with this tweet that says Trump isn't even in office yet, and his coalition has already started to crumble in the past 2 days. There's been a big debate about legal immigration to the U.S. tech bros like Elon Musk, David Sachs, and others want more immigrants to work in their companies, but the MAGA-C is fiercely opposed to any kind of immigration, legal or illegal. Soon Trump will have to choose between upsetting his loyal supporters or the tech bros who helped fund his campaign. Either way, it won't end well for him, and it feels so good. It feels so good to be right, because everybody watching this, including me, we've been pointing out for months that inevitably this new coalition of Elon Musk and all of these MAGA populists is going to implode when all of their interests begin to conflict. We know that Elon Musk is only doing this to further his own interests. So what happens when he plays his hand, or he oversteps a little bit too much, and all of the other MAGA populists begin to realize, wait a minute, this is the richest man in the world. Why is he dictating policy for us? And I'll show you what Elon Musk said in 1 second. But some of these reactions are hilarious. Former Congressman Matt Gaetz, I love that we can say former now. Former Congressman Matt Gaetz said, "We welcomed the tech bros when they came running our way to avoid the 3rd grade teacher picking their kid's gender and the obvious Biden-Harris economic decline. We did not ask them to engineer an immigration policy again." He is directly referring to people like Elon Musk or David Sachs or Peter Thiel. He is beginning to realize that these billionaires are only furthering their own corporate or personal interests. And this isn't me taking Matt Gaetz' side. It's just the rare time where a broken clock is actually right. Laura Loomer, who is one of the most vile human beings ever actually begun to see a U on, she said, "How long before we hear the tech? Bros say, quote, I gave Trump X millions of dollars, so I matter more than you. It's only a matter of time. They didn't donate to Trump to make America great. Again, they donated to Trump so they could try to influence immigration policy for their tech projects. Now she's a vile racist, but what she's saying here does have truth to it. Elon Musk only donated to Trump not for some altruistic reason of saving the country, but to further his own interests. But of course, Laura Loomer had to end this off with some straight-up racism. She then said, "Is there a compromise? Can we mass deport the third world invaders in the Mios, speak English best, and brightest to Mars?" Okay, so Laura Loomer is still a vile racist, but what she's realizing is that she can start to split the MAGA fan base, or at least gain more power by pushing Elon Musk's influence down. I think we're going to start seeing Matt Gaetz, Laura Loomer, other people fight back against Elon Musk's power because they see that they are losing power. Laura Loomer then said it's an invasion. They want to replace you. This is just white supremacy. Right here, this is just race realism. And here's David Sachs, one of Trump's biggest allies, pushing back against the racism. So someone said, did any of y'all vote for this Indian to run America? First of all, I like how we're all celebrating Christmas or Hanukkah and enjoying the holidays, and everybody on Twitter is having a war about racism and immigration. Just like chill and enjoy the holidays for a second. But David Sachs responded, Saram has been a U.S. citizen for a decade. He's not running America. He's advising on AI policy. He will have no influence over for U.S. immigration policy. These attacks have become crude and not in the holiday spirit. I'm signing off now. Have a Merry Christmas. Oh, I'm sorry. David Sachs, did you just realize that you have been funding and actively feeding this racist monster that we call the MAGA movement? It's too late to say, now, hey, These attacks have become kind of crude after you're the one who funded this entire movement over the past year or so. So I want to break down how this all started. What did Elon Musk say to get everybody mad at him? And this interaction might be slightly confusing. So to lay the groundwork, they're debating, of course, how many immigrants we should allow into the U.S. A lot of far-right, hardcore MAGA people say we should allow zero immigration whatsoever. We should go completely isolationist. No matter how talented or skilled you are, you should not be allowed into the US. And Elon Musk understands that that would hurt his business model a lot. So he's the one advocating for a more open immigration policy, not open. But he wants skilled workers to be able to come over here. He wants to be able to pull some of the smartest scientists or engineers from other countries. And that's called brain drain. You want to drain the smart people from our adversaries. So the US has a smarter base of engineers or doctors. So this thread started off by somebody saying there are 330 million people in America. Surely there must be enough among them to build your ultimate team. Why would you deny real Americans that opportunity by bringing foreigners here? And Elon Musk responds, your understanding of the situation is upside down and backwards. Of course, my companies and I would prefer to hire Americans, and we do, as that is much easier than going through the incredibly painful and slow work visa process. However, there is a dire shortage of extremely talented and motivated engineers in America. Now, that's not true, but I'll break that down in 1 second. He then said, this is not about handing out opportunities from some magical hat. You don't get it. This is blindingly obvious when looking at NBA teams, as a physical differences are so obvious to see. However, the mental differences between humans are far bigger than the physical differences. Then someone said, open a school. We have brains. Elon Musk said, if you need a school, you've lost already. What? And then actual truth respecter, someone on the far right, responded, incredible. At this rate, you are actually going to make me side with the leftists who want you treated like a hostile foreign agent. Again, this entire thread ended with a far-right MAGA supporter admitting that Elon Musk is essentially a hostile foreign agent. And let's break a lot of this down, because Elon Musk is very clearly triggered. If you've ever seen Elon Musk's tweeting style, it's always one or two words like, wow, or interesting, or he's just boosting this information. But he actually got triggered here because he wrote like an entire thread about somebody else's lack of understanding about something. So let's start here. Musk's claim about a shortage of engineers in America isn't new. Big tech uses all the time, but it's not even true. It's not that there aren't enough talented engineers in America. The issue is that many American engineers won't work the grueling exploitative hours that Elon Musk in particular demands. Elon Musk wants immigrants who are hungry for work to come over here. And of course, there are many, many brilliant people from other countries that we do want here. But I know engineers who have worked for Tesla. I know people who have worked for Tesla, worked for SpaceX, and they always describe environments where you're expected to work yourself into the ground, the weekends included. There's a popular saying among Tesla employees, and it's that if you don't show up to work on Saturday, don't even bother coming in on Sunday, meaning if you're not willing to work 7 days a week and sacrifice your entire life, there's no point in working for a company like Tesla in the first place. So many engineers in America in particular know their worth. They value their time and their families and their well-being. So instead of paying competitive wages to his workers, Elon Musk turns to foreign labor people who would be willing to accept a lower pay and longer hours, because for them it's still an improvement in quality of life to come over to America. And I agree with that. I think America is a beautiful country despite all of our flaws, and of course, people will get mad that I say that in the first place, but we should be able to admit America is a pretty beautiful country now. Elon Musk then says, if you need a school, you've lost already. Who can naturally just intuitively be an engineer? Yes. Some people may be naturally smarter or more inclined than others to be an engineer, but everybody needs school. So just sit with that for 1 second. This is a man who runs companies that rely on some of the most advanced engineers in the world, and he's dismissing the very idea of an education. He's basically saying you should be smart enough to do all of this without formal training. When I guarantee there is nobody working at Tesla or SpaceX in a high position that has less than a bachelor's degree. I'm pretty sure every single engineer he hires has an education. So does he think that rockets and self-driving cars just happen through willpower, or that you're just born knowing how to do this stuff? It's a type of anti-intellectualism that has gotten us this far down the rabbit hole in the first place regarding COVID and vaccines and other stuff. So then Elon Musk uses an analogy about the NBA. He says, this is blindingly obvious when looking at NBA teams, as the physical differences are so obvious to see, but the mental differences are far bigger. And I don't know, to me, it kind of sounds like he said, saying that Americans are just mentally inferior and can't be taught. Or the fact that we need to be taught is a loss in the first place. Because remember, he said, down here, if you need a school, you've lost already. So he's saying that you can look at these NBA teams and people who are 66, you can see these physical differences and see why they're ahead. And then he says the mental differences are far bigger. Therefore, we need to start pulling from other countries. This is a blatant insult to Americans. He's basically saying we're too stupid to meet his standards. We're so stupid that we need education, which is a failure, and that people from other countries would be better off working for them. Like, do Musk MAGA supporters not realize how demeaning this is to Americans? It's also worth pointing out that the NBA analogy is just absurd. You can teach someone to be a great software engineer. You can teach someone to be a great rocket scientist, but you can't teach someone to be a 66 basketball player with the fast twitch muscle fibers necessary to work out 4 hours a day. So comparing education to physical traits kind of shows how little Musk understands or cares about the value of education and skill development. He's honestly just a grifter. This clearly shows that Elon Musk is a grifter, and he has created and fed a monster that is too big for him to handle. Jason Harrison on Twitter said people on tech Twitter are actually shocked that some of their mutuals aren't only for legal immigration and just straight up racist. Yep, a lot of these tech bros on Twitter are racist, and I do want to clarify, I have spoken to probably 1,000 MAGA supporters at some of these rallies. Not all of them are so effing far gone that they want zero immigration. The vast majority of Americans do understand that immigration is a net positive, but I think Donald Trump has tricked many people into thinking that immigration right now is dangerous. So even though all of these far-right people on Twitter, like Matt Gaetz and Laura Loomer, are saying this, most of the people in your life who support Trump, if you ask them, will probably say that immigrants overall are okay. Not every MAGA supporter is Laura Loomer. Even if the average MAGA supporter is pretty extreme, I just don't want to give you the wrong view that every single MAG supporter is going to be as vile as Laura Loomer. She's pretty uniquely vile, and she feels safe saying this stuff online, but it does feel like a told you so moment, because now it feels like Laura Loomer or even Matt Gaetz, they're being exposed to this deeper truth about Elon Musk and his billionaire friends, because Laura Loomer thought Elon Musk was this America First patriot, but his loyalty is to profit, not patriotism. Elon Musk always wants to maximize profits, maximize his own power and wealth, and as much as I absolutely hate Laura Loomer, this is not me running defense. She now understands that she said how long before we hear the tech bros say, I gave Trump X millions of dollars, so I matter more than you do. And that is Elon Musk's play. But I'll leave you with that. I find this whole situation both ironic and depressing. And a little bit funny, it's funny that Elon Musk is being eaten alive by the monster he created. But it's also depressing that these people are so far, right? They want to completely cut off immigration, and they actually have the ear of Donald Trump. And it's also ironic for the obvious reason. So drop a like, subscribe. Make sure you enjoy the rest of the holidays with your family. We're rapidly approaching a new year where we are going to be firing on all cylinders every single day, putting out top-tier content to push back against the MAGA world that is about to take over America. So I love you guys. I'll see you in the next one. Peace out, and have a great day.